The loved ones. Whatever Lola wants, Lola gets. And tonight, little Lola wants Brent. Who is Lola Stone? Why? Just one of the most sinister female horror villains ever imagined. Yeah, quite adept at inflicting torture. She's a sadist. But to say that she enjoys inflicting pain is a bit of an understatement. Inflicting pain makes Lola horny. So in that sense, The Loved Ones, an Australian horror knockout from down under, is a true torture porn affair. In The Loved Ones, we watch in horror as Lola nails Brent's feet to the floor with knives. She injects his vocal cords with bleach. She literally rubs salt into his wounds. She attempts to turn him into a zombie using a page straight out of Jeffrey Dahmer's playbook. You see, Lola is the queen of her own personal perverted prom, and it is Brent's destiny to be her king of pain. How intense does it get? Well, IMDb compares the film to Inside, High Tension, even Martyrs, which is pretty remarkable. It's nothing like those movies, but it does achieve a similar level of pessimistic depravity that we usually only see flying under the banner of new French extremity. And what's remarkable is that writer-director Sean Byrne achieves this using a pretty pastel palette, almost certainly meant to be reminiscent of John Hughes movies from the 1980s. In fact, one of the blurbs on one of the film's posters says The Loved Ones is Pretty in Pink meets Wolf Creek. And that is actually pretty accurate when you're talking about the film's juxtaposition of themes. This is extreme violence versus teen romance. And Byrne brutalizes all of John Hughes's most cherished tropes before he even brings up suggestions of incest and a basement full of rabid, mutilated people. I've seen The Loved Ones a few times, and each time I do, I become more impressed with the subplot. There is a wonderful, tender, heartbreaking subplot, but it's easy to get lost in all of Lola's heinous mayhem. I'm talking about the story of Jamie and Mia, a true underdog story about a nerd taking a girl way out of his league to prom. You have to see the film a couple times to realize the similarities between the two parallel, simultaneous stories. And when you really pay attention to Mia, you realize that she is probably the most tragic character in the entire movie. Over the past few months, I've reviewed two films that I've stated are pretty much near perfect, talking about 2007's The Mist and 2013's Evil Dead reboot. Well, add The Loved Ones to the list. If you've already seen it, then you know. If you haven't seen it, then you really have no idea what you're missing. 5 stars. Good night, lovers.